Oregon just shattered its modern wildfire record, and the season still has 2 full months to go. More than 2 million acres have already burned across that one state, surpassing the previous record set in 2024. Meanwhile, down in central Utah, a monster fire is on track to become the biggest in state history. 86 large fires are burning uncontained right now across the United States. That's according to NIFC as of August 6th. Nearly 30,000 firefighters are deployed as we sit at National Preparedness Level 5, the maximum level. Fire year 2026 has already burned 5.5 million acres nationwide, according to the National Interagency Fire Center. That number is running at 144% of the 10-year average, 44% above normal. My goodness, y'all, we are in a historic and dangerous fire weather situation across the American West. Red flag warnings are in effect. A heat dome is baking the Intermountain West, and dry lightning threatens new ignitions. All data in this forecast comes from NIFC, the IMSR, NWS, and official fire incident reports. Let's get into it. All right, let's start out west and work our way across the country because that is where the biggest fire story in the nation is right now. Starting in the Pacific Northwest, Washington and Oregon are carrying the heaviest load in the entire country right now. 44 uncontained large fires are burning across just those 2 states. That is more than half of the national total. NIFC data shows temperatures in the inland Northwest, places like Spokane, Yakima, and Pendleton are at or above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's what makes that so dangerous. Minimum relative humidity is dropping to just 3 to 15% east of the Cascades. That number comes straight from the NIFC Predictive Services discussion for August 6th. And the overnight recovery is described as poor. Poor overnight recovery means fuels never rehydrate, so fire crews cannot safely press their advantage in the cooler evening hours. Near Spokane, Washington, 3 fires, Old Trails, Autumn Lane, and Fairview are burning simultaneously with evacuations in effect across those zones. The Sinlahekin fire near Tonasket, Washington, has burned 120,000 acres and is only 20% contained per the federal incident report. The Kaiser Canyon fire near Nispelem is at 136,000 acres, 43% contained, with 44 structures confirmed lost. Over in Oregon, the Rowe Creek complex, 10 miles south of Fossil, has burned 340,000 acres per the August 6th IMSR. Crews have achieved 62% containment there, but active uphill runs, torching, and spotting continue today. The Big Grass Fire, 25 miles southwest of Jordan Valley, has scorched 358,000 acres and is only 39% contained. Here's a number to help put that in perspective. Big Grass and Rowe Creek together have burned more land area than the state of Rhode Island. The Coleman Creek Fire near Ventura has hit 309,000 acres, 70% contained, but still growing by over 30,000 acres on August 5th alone. Here's the interesting thing about the Northwest response. Firefighters from Australia and New Zealand have been brought in to help manage these massive incidents. 4 MFF C-130 air tankers from the Air Force Reserve and California Air National Guard are pre-positioned in Klamath Falls and Redding, per the NIFC report. Now let's drop south into California, where the NIFC confirms inland temperatures are surging to as high as 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The Gann fire near Valley Springs in Calaveras County grew by nearly 4,000 acres in a single day and is 19% contained, per the federal incident report. 2,700 personnel are working that fire, one of the largest single fire staffings in today's National Situation Report. If you are driving the I-5 corridor through the Central Valley today, expect smoke, reduced visibility, and check your local NWS air quality alerts before you go. Anyone in the foothills of Northern California, Redding, Chico, Oroville, this is a good day to know your evacuation routes. Moving into the Great Basin, Utah, Nevada, and Idaho, this region is also at preparedness level 5, matching the Northwest. Over 599,000 acres have already burned in the Great Basin this year, and the Widemouth 2 fire is the headline right now. We are going to go very deep on that fire shortly, but first, let's finish the national picture. The Tartar Fire, 21 miles northwest of Weiser, Idaho, has burned 147,000 acres, 53% contained, per IMSR. The Ward Fire near Ely, Nevada, is only 5% contained with nearly 9,000 acres burned. A new incident management team is mobilizing there today. Now let's head to Colorado and the Rocky Mountain region because they have their own significant fire situation unfolding. The Aspen Acres fire, 20 miles southwest of Pueblo, has burned over 101,000 acres in Custer and Pueblo counties. Federal incident data from the August 6th IMSR shows 915 structures lost, with a cost to date of $97 million. News reports as of mid-July had confirmed more than 850 structures. The federal figure of 915 reflects the most recent official count. The Gold Mountain Fire near RA has burned 39,000 acres, but is 89% contained, one of the better stories in today's report. Over in Minnesota's Superior National Forest, 5 fires, Thumb, Wolfpack, Sioux, Bear Trap, and Camp, are burning with minimal to light fire behavior. Those fires are relatively modest compared to the West, but they bear watching given the dry pattern extending into the upper Midwest. Down in the Southern Plains, the Bear Hollow Fire near Jacksboro, Texas, added 506 new acres just yesterday per the IMSR. The NIFC reports breezy south winds and relative humidity minimums of 20 to 30%, keeping fire weather elevated across the Southern Plains corridor. All right, now let's talk about the next 24 to 48 hours and how this weather setup evolves, because it is not improving. The NIFC Predictive Services discussion issued August 6th states that hot and very dry conditions will persist for much of the Intermountain West. There is no cold front, no significant moisture surge, and no meaningful precipitation in the forecast for fire-affected areas of the West. For the Pacific Northwest west of the Cascades, including Portland and Seattle, the NIFC notes slight cooling is expected, but conditions remain dry. East of the Cascades, it stays brutal. The inland Northwest and Northern Great Basin are forecast to stay near or above 100 degrees through this period. Salt Lake City and the Southern Great Basin, per NIFC, will see temperatures exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the lower elevations. For Colorado and the Front Range, NIFC notes above normal temperatures spreading into much of the northern Rockies, including Denver's region, through the period. The Southeast is actually running below normal temperatures per the NIFC report, and the eastern U.S. broadly sees near seasonal conditions. One notable exception, Maine is running well above normal for this period, which is unusual and worth tracking. Now, here is the critical threat for the next 48 hours that could make this already severe situation significantly worse. Dry lightning, officially defined by the Storm Prediction Center as lightning with less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall at the surface. Sometimes you'll hear the term virga. That's when precipitation falls from a cloud but evaporates before it reaches the ground in the heat below. The result is cloud-to-ground lightning strikes with little or no rain reaching the bone-dry fuels on the surface, pure ignition risk. The NIFC Predictive Services discussion specifically identifies isolated mixed wet and dry thunderstorms for southern Nevada, southeast California, and southwest Utah. That threat also extends into northwest Arizona and parts of the southern plains, all regions already under extreme heat and drought stress. NIFC also flags Alaska's eastern interior as warm and dry with isolated thunderstorms, raising the risk of new fire starts up there as well. Remember, the official NIFC count shows 100 new fires reported nationwide in just one day, August 5th, and 2 became large incidents immediately. Dry lightning fires in the identified zones over the next 48 hours. We could see the national uncontained count push even higher before the weekend. And this entire setup, the heat dome, the critically dry fuels, the lightning threat feeds directly into the major story, the Widemouth 2 fire. Because this fire is not just a major incident, it is on the edge of becoming the largest wildfire in Utah's recorded history. All right, let's go deep on the Widemouth 2 fire, because this one deserves its own chapter, and every number is staggering. This fire started on July 27th from a lightning strike 2 miles southwest of Kanosh in Millard County, Utah, per INCIWeb and the IMSR. In just 11 days, it has grown to over 106,000 acres and is only 19% contained as of August 6th reporting. To visualize the scale, the fire's perimeter stretches 156 miles around its edge, per the Great Basin Incident Management Team. Crews have dropped over 500,000 gallons of water and 605,000 gallons of fire retardant on this blaze. Those numbers come from the Thursday community meeting briefing. 90 miles of dozer line have been constructed, and the fire continues to grow despite all of it. As of the official fire information sheet dated August 6th, the operation includes 540 personnel assigned to the incident. Resources include 15 fire crews, 7 helicopters, 25 engines, 4 dozers, and 18 water tenders. Now let me walk you through what is actually happening on the ground, because the official briefings paint a very specific picture of this fire's behavior. For the official Widemouth 2 update, the western boundary from Kanosh north to Chalk Creek is the relative good news. Crews are reinforcing and holding there. The northern boundary is the serious challenge. Steep mountainous terrain with alignment that is, in the briefing's exact words, promoting fire spread between Pioneer Peak and Mount Catherine. Crews on the north side are working to tie into the burn boundary from the 2026 Wild Goose Fire, using an older burned area as a natural fire break. The northeast side has some buffer. The 2022 Halfway Hill burn scar has slowed fire progression per the official update, providing a working zone for crews. But the eastern flank is where the fire is escaping. The official update describes strong fire behavior on the eastern flank with daily smoke columns. The fire is spreading both northeast toward Holden and southeast toward Joseph Peak in Sevier County. 2 active flanks pulling resources in opposite directions simultaneously. And the weather forecast for today, per the official fire information sheet, is expected to produce what they call a very active fire day. Large timber in the burn area is retaining only 5% moisture. That figure comes directly from the official Widemouth 2 fire update. Variable winds combined with that fuel condition is the setup fire managers say will drive very active fire behavior today. Let's talk about model uncertainty and what comes next. And I want to be clear about what the official data shows versus what I am projecting. The official NIFC predictive services discussion does not specify a single fire growth projection. It describes elevated fire weather conditions continuing. The August significant fire potential outlook from NIFC's monthly report confirms above normal fire potential for central Utah through at least September. Based on the official data, here are 3 plausible scenarios. And I want to be upfront that these are analysis, not official government forecasts. Best case, winds stay relatively stable, crews successfully tie into the Wild Goose Fire burn scar, and containment climbs meaningfully on the northern flank. In that scenario, the fire growth rate slows, towns of Fillmore and Kanosh remain protected, and the most critical evacuation zones stabilize. Moderate scenario, the eastern and northeastern flanks continue pushing hard, and the fire surpasses the Babylon Fire's 107,000 acres within days. That would make Widemouth 2 officially the largest wildfire in Utah's 2026 season, a threshold it is within 2,000 acres of crossing right now. Worst case, a wind event simultaneously pushes the fire on multiple flanks, causing spotting beyond established control lines in more than one direction. Spotting, when burning embers are carried ahead of the main fire by wind, starting new fires beyond control lines, is the mechanism fire managers most fear here. In that scenario, evacuation zones would expand, and the fire could push toward the communities along the I-70 corridor, including Richfield and Monroe. Now let's go through the official evacuation status. These come directly from the Widemouth 2 fire official information sheet dated August 6th. Level 3 go now evacuation orders are in effect for Kanosh south of 300 South, Turkey Track Lane, Cemetery Road, and 4400 South to Reservation Road near Meadow. Level 3 also covers private properties near Joseph Peak in Sevier County, as shown on the official NIFC fire map updated August 5th. Level 2 B-set warnings cover Kanosh north of 300 South, areas near Fillmore along 500 South and Baker Lane extending west and south. That warning zone includes portions of Highway 99 south to just past the Great Lakes Cheese Plant and Meadow Canyon Road south to 4400 south. If you are in Millard or Sevier County in any of those zones, do not wait to see what tonight brings before making your decision to leave. The official fire briefing explicitly states that variable winds and tinder dry fuels are expected to produce a very active fire day today. Conditions change in minutes. For official evacuation levels, follow the Millard County Sheriff and Sevier County Sheriff pages. Those are the authoritative sources, not social media. If your area is moved to go status, you will receive a wireless emergency alert on your phone and a door-to-door notification from officials. A critical safety message from fire managers: do not fly drones anywhere near the Widemouth 2 fire or any active wildfire operations. A single drone in the airspace can ground all aircraft. The helicopters, the air tankers, the water drops, all operations halt until the airspace is clear. The fire information line is 435-261-3607. Full details are on the Widemouth 2 INSI webpage at insyweb.wildfire.gov. Now let me explain the meteorological mechanism driving all of this. The technical term is an upper-level ridge, commonly called a heat dome. A heat dome is when a high-pressure system parks over a region and acts like a lid, trapping hot air near the surface and blocking any cool, moist flow from moving in. The NIFC Predictive Services discussion confirms this pattern will persist with no significant change through the extended forecast period. Translation for fire operations: no rain, no relief, no meaningful cooling for the areas that need it most over the next several days. Per NIFC, the inland Northwest and Northern Great Basins stay near or above 100 degrees, and inland California reaches up to 110. Minimum relative humidity east of the Cascades and Sierra Nevada, all the way to the Continental Divide, drops to 3 to 15% with poor overnight recovery. Fire weather terms: overnight recovery below 25% relative humidity is considered poor. We are running well below that threshold in many areas. This is precisely why the national preparedness level has been held at 5 since July 18th. Every available resource is mobilized. The NIFC report confirms 25 complex incident management teams committed, 1 national incident management organization, and international crews from Australia and New Zealand. Now for the 5-day extended outlook, and here I will be explicit about where data is from official sources versus reasonable inference. The NIFC monthly outlook issued August 1st explicitly states, above normal significant fire potential will continue in much of the Northwest and Northern Great Basin through August. The same document notes repeated widespread wetting storms are unlikely through September. There is no cavalry of rain coming to the rescue in the near term. For the Four Corners region, the NIFC Predictive Services discussion does forecast isolated to scattered wet thunderstorms along and south of the Mogollon Rim in New Mexico. That could provide some localized moisture relief for fires in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. We will watch that area for positive developments. For the Northern Rockies, the NIFC report states above normal temperatures are spreading into much of that region, including Montana and northern Idaho. The Skillet Fire near Olney, Montana, currently at 2,870 acres, is showing active fire behavior in heavy slash with group torching and spotting. If the heat dome expands northward as the NIFC seasonal outlook suggests, Northern Rockies fire activity could intensify in the days ahead. Here is the big picture context that the numbers alone can't fully convey, according to NIFC, the IMSR, and the Northwest Coordination Center data. Oregon has shattered its modern wildfire record with over 2 million acres burned, and the previous record, set just 2 years ago in 2024, was nearly 2.1 million acres. The 2026 season still has approximately 2 months of active fire weather remaining, per NIFC's seasonal forecast discussion. Nationally, 5.5 million acres burned at 144% of the 10-year average as of August 6th, both figures from the official NIFC National Fire News. The traditional peak of fire season in the West runs from now through early October. We are at the beginning of the most dangerous stretch, not the end of it. Resources are stretched, crews are working in extreme conditions, and the weather pattern shows no sign of meaningful change in the near term. If you are in any fire-threatened area, Oregon, Washington, Utah, Nevada, California, or Colorado, please take the current situation seriously. Make sure you have a go bag ready. The National Preparedness Level 5 declaration means resources may not reach every new incident immediately. Know your evacuation routes before you need them. The time to plan is now, not when a Level 3 Go Now order is issued for your area. Sign up for your county's emergency notification system. Wireless emergency alerts come automatically, but local systems may provide earlier notice. Check on neighbors who may need help evacuating, particularly the elderly, those with disabilities, and anyone with livestock or large animals. Once you leave, do not return until the official all clear is given by local emergency management. Do not rely on social media reports. For Widemouth 2, Forest Service Closure Order 0408-26-14 closes Fillmore Ranger District lands through October 31st, 2026. The BLM Fire Prevention Order, Utah Whiskey 002-26-07, closes BLM lands in Millard County north of I-70, east of I-15, and west of U.S. Highway 50. Both of those closure orders are posted on the Widemouth 2 INSI webpage, the official source for all fire closure information. Here are the 3 things to watch over the next 5 days that will tell you whether this situation is improving or getting worse. Number 1, does the heat dome begin to show any signs of breaking down east of the Cascades by days 4 and 5 of the extended forecast? Number 2, does Widemouth 2 surpass the Babylon Fire's 107,000 acres and officially become Utah's largest wildfire of 2026? Number 3, does dry lightning in the forecast zones trigger any new significant fire starts in Nevada, southern Utah, or Arizona over the next 48 hours? Those 3 benchmarks are directly tied to what the official data is telling us right now, and we will be tracking all 3 every day. Once again, all statistics in this forecast came from NIFC, the August 6th Incident Management Situation Report, and official INSI web fire pages. City-specific temperature ranges use the official NIFC Predictive Services discussion language, not model-generated point forecasts. For the most current and authoritative information, go to nifc.gov, weather.gov, insiweb.wildfire.gov, and your local National Weather Service office. This is an action-packed and big-time impactful situation across the American West, and it is nowhere near over. A historic fire season with no near-term weather relief and resources stretched to their maximum across the country. We will be covering this daily. We will have daily updates on Widemouth 2 and any significant new developments, so make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. As this fire weather pattern evolves day by day, we will break down every new NIFC report and IMSR the moment they are published. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates as this situation continues to develop. Stay weather aware, follow your local emergency management, and please take evacuation orders seriously the moment they are issued. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.